walking the walk and talking the talk, a key parenting lesson. Now, over the next few minutes, I'll go over some common triggers to childhood anxiety and meltdowns and how a worried parent who is at their wits' end can deal with them before it's just too late. Now, as well as this video, I've created a parent and companion guide with more tips on dealing with those anxious moments as they come up. And all you need to do is just drop me a line below and I'll send it straight to your messenger. Now, for those that don't know me, my name is Stuart Nunn and I'm a child and family therapist. And I've spent the last decade helping worried parents with anxious children. I teach real therapeutic skills and techniques that can help children feel happier and more confident. My ultimate goal is to help parents enjoy family time together again. So if you want to learn more about triggers and how to handle them confidently, all you need to do is just keep watching. So in my time working with families in my sessions, there are certain themes that come up for anxiety, especially in children. They can come as perhaps like tearful in the mornings, not wanting to go to school, being worried that their homework or their work at school is not good enough, so they work even harder because, you've got to be perfect. Or they go to the opposite end and say, no, I don't want to do it, and just throw it all away. Also, we can see like they have headaches, tummy aches, they're feeling sick and nauseous. And perhaps sometimes they're always having constant reassurances from parents, making sure that they're doing well, they're doing things right. And then lastly, and definitely not least, is where they go snappy and irritable, sometimes from completely nowhere. You're sitting down having a nice conversation and bam, it all kicks off. Now, these are all some of the symptoms, and we can see and hear them. And there will also be triggers for each of those. Sadly, not all of those triggers are obvious, or they may have been building up over time, so maybe several hours or several days. It might be like the straw that broke the camel's back. So how can we deal with these, or manage, which is a better term, these symptoms and finding out those triggers? Now, coming back to the headline of this post, walking the walk and talking the talk, I can guarantee you that we have all felt anxiety at some point in our lives. So you're going to know what the child is feeling. Remember, they're feeling on a smaller scale. We as grown-ups tend to feel anxiety on a bigger scale. Or do we? But what they're feeling is real, really, really real to them. So step one is to acknowledge that feeling on what's going on with them. Listen to them. You don't need to judge, don't need to give them any tips. All you need to do is just listen. And sometimes just talking it out, maybe through some sobs, will be the best thing you can do. Step two is bring them back into the here and now. Best way to do that is the 3, 2, 1. So 3 things, look for them. 2 things, listen for them. And 1 thing, feel or touch. So it might be an item of clothing, might be your arm, might be their arm. But bring them back into the here and now. And once you've done with that, step 3 is check in with them. How are they feeling now? You feeling betterer or worser or the same? And then that'd be a good time to help them with breathing. If they're still, lead them into a calmer breath. Don't tell them, just show them. Walk the walk. And then you can talk the talk at the same time. Now, step 4. Here's a bit of woo-woo stuff for you. We said they've got some triggers. They might not know what that trigger is, especially if it's the one that's been building up. So a really good way to help them and you with this is to Ask them to give, take them back to that sort of that feeling when they first started it, and ask them whether tell them to give it a colour and a shape. So it might be red and a circle. Now they got something that they can call a trigger. And that's powerful stuff. We've got a starting place for all of this. So step 5 is create an alternative trigger. So that might be a distraction. So they might feel this red circle coming up. Right, I need to do something different. So they then got the control to go and do something else. Or they might want to create a new shape that it morphs into. So the red circle might turn into a green diamond or a green star. And they can physically in their mind change that. And then step 6, congratulate yourself and them. Because now you've got something you can help with them with straight away. And they say, Mum, Dad, I've got a red circle situation. You can help them. And that's the best time. So once again, if you wanted that parenting companion guide, helping you with other anxious tips on how to deal with other anxious moments, just drop me a line below and I'll send it